What made Minecraft the best-selling game of all time? I feel that this is an interesting question to discuss, and certainly one that is relevant in the games industry. So many companies are coming up with new money-making schemes, stopping just short of monkey JPEGs to get more revenue. But how does one indie project turn someone into a billionaire? And how does somebody become a billionaire and then just spend all their time complaining on Twitter? There are a number of explanations as to how a game can be so inexplicably popular and so evergreen, and I'm gonna dive into it. Minecraft is fun. Okay, yes, it is true that Minecraft is the most popular game because it is fun, but that's a bit vague. What actually makes a game fun? For one, there is of course how versatile the game is. You can make it into virtually any minigame. You can pursue virtually any meta game you want. But it's not the only game to do this. And the most popular mode by far is just the plain old vanilla survival. Survival is what most people think of when they think of Minecraft gameplay. It's survival mode that truly made Minecraft click. This is the mode that carries the game. It appeals to all ages. No features that would preclude a certain audience from playing. It translates across different cultures. Every visual aspect of the game is things that are universally recognizable. Trees, grass, cows, pigs. Very little about it biases it towards a specific culture or audience, at least compared to the average game. It has multiplayer with as many people as you want. You can create any experience with your friends. It is a simple game with simple controls and has been ported to almost as many devices as Doom. So this is already a good recipe for mass acceptance, but I don't think these are adequate explanations to explain how a game could so deeply penetrate the zeitgeist, the collective consciousness. There are deeper philosophical reasons for how this game fulfills intrinsic human needs. In a sense, Minecraft is the closest thing we have to the perfect game. So, like I said, fun is too vague. It's not something you can action. It doesn't really expand the conversation. Well, what's a better way to describe it? It's common in game design to describe games in terms of player needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a Psych 101 concept that most psychology students would be introduced to in their first year. You may have seen this triangle before. If not, I'll explain briefly. Basically, lower level needs, such as physiological needs, those being food and water, or safety, must be satisfied before higher level ones can be satisfied, such as self-actualization. Self-actualization refers to your sense of self-fulfillment. This can vary greatly between different people. Basically, what I'm getting at here is that there are different kinds of needs in psychology, and they can range from things like, without this I will die,
I want mommy, I want milk,
to, I really ought to clean my room. Why does this matter in the context of games? Like I said, to be what we describe as fun, games need to be compelling. As such, they need to target what is understood to motivate people psychologically. They need to hack your brain like the Matrix, the good one, not the now 3 terrible ones. Minecraft does this better than any other game. I want to share with you a study which basically breaks down how people interact with games into different intrinsic needs. One of them is competence. The game needs to make you feel competent, even if you're woefully incompetent. Minecraft does this exceptionally. The game can make both experienced, sweaty, hardcore players who haven't touched grass since Obama was president and Linkin Park was playing on the radio, and brand new players who don't know how to pick up a controller. Basically, competence is the ability to feel a sense of mastery over the game world. Your steady increase in power and skill. Your capacity to turn intention into action. To feel that you can do whatever it is in the game world you want to do, without being limited by things such as controls or arcane systems. A positive experience is notable by a lack of direct concerns or overt awareness of the game's mechanics. In this sense, mechanics refers to things like the physics and the controls, basically the way the player interfaces with the world. So basically, competence is about the player not being concerned with how they interact with the world. It's just intuitive to them. You can do virtually anything in Minecraft. You can impress your will upon the world in basically any way you see fit, King. And you aren't limited by things such as controls. Minecraft is intuitive to new players. Its large blocky presentation is easy to understand for even the youngest players. And do not underestimate minor features like the block outlines. They basically make the experience. It has an incredibly low barrier to entry, low like the attention span of the average TikTok user, and a virtually limitless ceiling for mastery. So virtually anybody can feel gratified by playing this game. Another important component of competence is the feeling that the game's challenges are evenly matched with the player's skill. For good measure, survival mode grants a baseline accomplishment to every new player within the first few minutes, that being surviving the first night. That accomplishment is really as hard as you want it to be. An inexperienced player could just huddle in a dirt hole trying not to get blown up. They may discover torches. An average player might know how to seek out sheep and build a bed, while an experienced player would go mining all night or feel equipped to fight the mobs for materials. The challenge in this game can almost always meet the player's skill level. An equally or perhaps even more important aspect of competence is that of player expression, the ability to express your mastery. This is basically when previously difficult challenges become trivial. On top of giving ample challenge to the player, where the challenge matches the player's ability, the game should also give the players opportunities to flex, to show off in palpable ways what they've achieved. A giant castle, a chest full of diamonds, a game that allows you to express mastery. Another need that the game's able to fulfill is that of autonomy. This refers to the amount of paths you have to overcome a challenge. The idea that players' achievements are the result of their own choices is important. The player should have an opportunity to express their volition. Autonomy is the number of avenues they can choose to meaningfully express their mastery. Choices forced upon us can actually be demotivating. In Minecraft, literally everything you do is a choice. Back to the study, they claim maximizing opportunities for choice is a key consideration for optimizing autonomy. This means improving the amount of interactive objects available to the player and the level of meaningful interaction with said objects. In Minecraft, literally every object is an object you can meaningfully interact with. You can build a house out of anything you mine. Autonomy is of particular value to RPG fans. In Minecraft, you do roleplay in a way. Instead of building a character, however, you're building a world around you, a nation even. Finally, there's the need referred to as relatedness. This is basically your esteem in relation to other players. It's your ability to meaningfully interact with and support other human beings through the game. This is important in multiplayer games. Is it important in Minecraft? Absolutely. In fact, Minecraft is almost perfect at this. For one, it allows virtually any multiplayer setup. You can host a local survival server with just your friends. You can go out and meet new people as well in a more structured environment, or a less structured one if you're on the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft. Virtually any task in Minecraft can be broken down by groups, and you can meaningfully interact with other players on any level you desire. You can delegate tasks almost just like in real life, supporting and bonding with other players as you do so. Any task can be done cooperatively. You know what's better than building a castle? Building a castle in survival mode, where you actually have to earn the materials to build it. Do you know what's better than building a castle in survival mode? Building a castle with a friend, where you actually bond with someone over its creation. Now, relatedness is actually a factor in single player games as well. Your interactions with NPCs and so on. Minecraft has this for some extent with the testificates. Does anybody else remember when they were called that? But I don't think it really does much for this specific need. Now, I mentioned earlier that Minecraft is intuitive to new players. It's not just about the simple graphics and controls and physics and quality of life features. It's the subject matter, survival. Every human fundamentally understands the point of this game. Everything is obvious. The point of wood, stone, you're hungry and you need to eat, you get meat from animals. I spoke about how the game can fulfill human needs. But why do these needs even exist in the first place? In this case, you can look at evolutionary psychology. Oh my science, is it that time again? I friggin' love science. Let's get into it. Look at the development of early man to understand. These needs developed to ensure survival and reproduction of human ancestors. Let's look at Grug and Ugg. You see, Grug cared about winning. He developed relationships with other cavemen. He developed mastery over his surroundings to help him survive. He hunted. He built shelter. Meanwhile, Ugg cared more about poetry, about painting and pondering the true nature of life. Ugg ended up painting the wall with the help of a saber-toothed tiger, while Grug managed to use his skills to survive and eventually produce progeny. Thanks to Grug, human desires are built around this specific type of survival, which Minecraft seeks to emulate. I feel that modern society is particularly alienating towards this aspect of human nature, which is what makes this game so appealing. Not even a generation ago, people had to craft and mend their own clothes. Farms are getting larger with fewer employees. As such, fewer people are farming and hunting and producing their own food. Grug raised his kids to hunt and survive, not to consume product from the supermarket. Minecraft is the best surrogate activity to fill that void left by modernity and our sad existence. But that's not the end of the story. Minecraft isn't the only survival game out there. There are plenty of games out there that simulate survival, many with far more complexity. Survival only tells half of the story. You see, Grug wasn't content just surviving. He needed to build a city, to own his own corner of the globe. Minecraft gives you an exercise in nation building. Every average player knows that the survival elements just become trivial after a couple hours of resource gathering. The world opens up and becomes yours to exploit as you see fit. It really does become a virtual microcosm for early man, for the early development of nations. You can manipulate and create and destroy this world as you see fit. And what everyone does, ultimately, is reshape the world in their image. You force the villagers into tiny containment cubicles to work for free. You exploit them for free labor. You harvest their protectors for free iron. You level the natural world around you and build great monuments to your vanity. You hollow out the earth in a vain pursuit for minerals just so you can build bigger towers. It's a little experiment that perfectly shows just how dark early man could be. Perhaps it's a good thing then that we have Minecraft as an outlet for these urges. I think that the success of Minecraft was largely an accident. At one point in development it was meant to be an RPG, but it shifted course over time as many games do. I don't think many of these points were considerations during the development, and Notch didn't intend to make the perfect game. Minecraft's success wasn't instant either. Notch took a very active role in showing off the progress of his game to his steadily expanding community. It spread largely by word of mouth. It slowly evolved into the game we know it as today. It is quite widely reported how the game essentially suffered a false death before its most recent revival. I can really see no end in sight for Minecraft. Unless something greater comes along and supplants it, I think Minecraft is the game to last forever. I actually wanted to cover the technology of Minecraft, but this guy beat me to it. But I always want to ask the viewer what they think, so leave your comments down below. Remember, I'm still researching these topics myself, so I'm open to hearing different perspectives. Thank you, and goodbye.
Понимаешь, ты правильно. Ну, так чё? Так чё? Блять, хорошо, что это сундуки вот эти остались наверху, заебись. Да ты чё?